So this is going to be the lowest scalable option available. Is just taking your hands and feet from the floor and walking them up to a height. It can be done on a box or a wall as you see here. Pretty much the whole idea is just getting weight onto our hands in a stacked position. From there, we just start to introduce the mechanics of the cartwheel and getting into that position. You can start with a kneeling lunge, which takes less flexibility to get into the position, or you can start with a standing lunge, which we're about to see here. This one takes a little bit more ability just to get you to the floor as we're going through, and you're also able to train the how we get up out of the cartwheel. We start building up. Hands down. We're going to walk our hands slightly back. We get that head shoving through, shifting that weight to my hands once again, and looking at those hands. Come down, just walk it down nice and gentle. Ew. The first progression is going to be our walk up to pike, then we're going to add our leg lift. As we're first starting off, we want to set the box height around our hips or maybe even a little higher depending on your flexibility so that we can get a nice straight line from the foot to the hips to the shoulders to the hands. The higher the height of the box, the easier this is going to be to hit. This drill allows us to be in control and gain confidence as we start to learn where the fully inverted position of our handstand is. To set up for progression 2, we're going to need that space in between the wall and the box. We're going to walk our feet up the box all the way up to the plates as we walk our hands back into that pike position. From there, we're going to take one foot, lift it up, touch the wall, switching legs every time. This allows us to start to feel the sensation of what it's like when our foot actually touches the wall while still being in full control of the movement. If flexibility is an issue and we still quite can't get our heel up on the wall, we can always stack up more plates in the box or adjust the box higher to make that happen. This is the drill where it starts to get fun. We're going to set up the same way as the last drill, setting our feet up on the highest part of the box, walking our hands back to the pike. The only difference between this drill and the previous one is now we're adding a small hop as that heel is coming off to touch that wall. It's very important here to notice how the arms are straight, and I'm using my shoulders to push my hands through the floor so that they're ready to take the load of my full body weight as that foot comes up and hits the wall. And to come down, it's as easy as walking your feet down each side of the box. Now we get to start kicking up from the floor, making sure my front leg is bent, my hands go down close to the wall, and I'm driving my back leg up as my front leg pushes. It's important that the front leg is bent so it allows me to jump as that heel drives up. We're just going to kick up, let our heel touch the wall, and come back down to our start position. So here we are in the next drill, setting up in our lunge. Our lunge is going to have our arms up tall, shoulders are shrugged, front leg bent. It's very important that the shoulders are shrugged during this movement before we even put our hands down, so that our shoulders are actively prepared to take the body weight as the hands hit the floor. Making sure that in our lunge, our front leg is bent so that we can jump and our back heel drives up just like before. And here we are at our final product, making sure our front leg is bent so we can jump, our back leg drives so we get lift, and our shoulders are shrugged so we can take the weight, kicking all the way up so that we're finally in our handstand on the wall. What's up, guys and gals? Welcome to the next progression, building up to our freestanding handstand. These progressions will not only teach us how to build up to the freestanding handstand, but how to safely come out of it as well, as in the learning process there are bound to be a few falls. Remember to take these step by step and become fully confident in the progression before moving on to the next. Let's have some fun and get upside down. Into our cartwheel off elevation. The roll is pretty simple here. We're going to start at a height that we're comfortable with and then slowly work our way down to the floor. You can use things like boxes or plates, as you see here. Then, once we actually get down to the floor, we're going to control the range and difficulty by controlling how high we kick. Once we're super confident there, we're just going to kick straight over the top, and there's your cartwheel. I hope this video helps you guys out. This is where we start learning how to come out of our handstand in case the event happens that we ever start to lean too far forward and lose our balance. So as you can see, this drill begins with us walking up to our belly facing wall handstand, letting our feet come away, and then having a slight movement of our. Here we get a closer view of what that movement looks like. So as my left leg comes away from the wall, my left hand is going to turn and place it right beside my right hand. Here's the same thing on the other side. As we get more comfortable with just moving our hands, we're going to add a little bit of a challenge to it. We're going to kick off the wall, snap our feet together, and then move our hands when we feel our weight going forward. So we come out safe. Now that we know how to come out of our handstand safely, if we start to lean too far over our hands, let's get back to the drills. Next drill is going to start by walking up in our belly facing wall handstand, lifting one foot away from the wall, then letting both feet tap together at that vertical position. Doing our best to push through our fingers so that we stay nice and balanced at the top. We want to make sure we're really using our fingers to push down into the floor, using our shoulders to cover our ears as we get up to that vertical position. Just like with the previous drills before, as we get more comfortable, we're going to start moving our hands further away from the wall. The further away our hands are from the wall, the more strength it takes to control the positions. Over time, we want to slowly add up the amount of time spent in the freestanding position versus with our feet on the wall. So start off slow with maybe a second or two hold, then build up from there. Next up, we have our tiger tail or our split handstand. This may look very similar to just kicking up to the wall, but the intent changes here. Our goal, instead of just kicking up to the wall, is trying to find that vertical position before we lightly touch that wall. The wall drill is to just help our confidence a little bit before we move on to the next progression, the tiger tail on the floor. So here you can see me giving you a friendly reminder to make sure that front leg is bent, that back leg kicks hard, that the shoulders push through as we're kicking up. The goal here is trying to kick up and find that vertical position in returning back to our lunge. Here's also where knowing how to come out of our handstand starts to help. It becomes an extra measure of safety in case we kick too hard. It's not mandatory, but I suggest practicing on both sides. You're going to have one side that's a little bit better. That doesn't mean the other side doesn't need any love. And here we are back on the wall. For this drill, we're going to try to kick up to our handstand, getting our feet together before they lightly tap the wall. We want to pretend the wall is a baby's face or something that we love. We just want to give it a light little touch or a kiss with our feet without smacking it over into oblivion. So really focus on control here, trying to find that positioning. And the last and final piece is kicking up and holding that freestanding handstand. If we took our time and got comfortable with each and every drill and progression that came before this should be a walk in the park. The hardest part about a freestanding handstand is getting over the fear that we might fall over. So that's why I took a little bit of extra time to teach you guys how to come out of the handstand nice and safely, so that when we get to this part, we are fully confident in our ability to hold our body weight upside down. I hope you guys enjoyed the series on how to build up to the freestanding handstand. Next is going to be how to build up to walking on our hands.